So
Yeah, I
everybody's
think.
talking about Ridvan, AP. I mean, I don't know what to say because I tried to explain to him, to David Wood, to everybody that I mean, all you can do is continue to try to reason with people, and if they want to go on a crusade for Zionism, I mean,
What do you do?
what am I
Yeah.
supposed to? There's nothing I can do. So, I mean, I what I typically do when, and I think FDA would agree with this approach too, is when you meet people a lot nowadays, we a lot of times meet people online. You try to be as good an influence as you can, and then you give it time. And after a while, when it becomes evident that people are going in their own direction, and they're not interested in your position or what you're trying to help them with, you let people go. It's the same with. It's not mouth sound. Father Deacon, can you mute when you're not? If you're, I'm not
Yeah.
telling
Give
you
me a
not to
thought.
talk, but just when you're not talking, because we hear a lot of background noise. So you know, you give it time and then you move on. For example, with Sam Shamoun, I maintained a friendly relationship with him for 4 years, somewhere in there, five, maybe five. And then out of nowhere, I asked him and Goofus to do a debate, and everything spiraled out of control there. Time to move on. So that's what I think. I mean, that's the only way really to navigate not just the sphere of media, but your life as well. When people are not interested, there's not much else you can do. I mean, if AP is going to call very respectful Orthodox priests like Father John Whiteford liar, it's time to just move on. I don't know what else to do. I mean, if they're not going to listen to people in the Orthodox Church, then they can just move on to, I guess he would go to evangelicalism or something like that. But don't you think that's the wise course of action here? It's like at a
Yeah.
certain point, you just, if people are not interested, what are you going to do? Just make videos calling them out every day? What's the point?
It's a waste of. I mean, shoot. I should start teaching courses just in time management. Like, are you managing your time? Like, why are you wasting your time with? You're not.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's also your own time, right? Like,
It's your own time. You're not gonna. If it doesn't look like you can convince them, then move on. Put your energy into other stuff. Like what? And you can't force somebody to believe
right?
something. Like so, I like the best thing I always thought for him in the process of his catechesis and maybe even neophyte,
Mm-hmm.
get off the internet.
Right. Yeah.
We've seen this with a lot of people who, uh, had big internet presence and converted to Orthodoxy. It's extremely difficult and for their own humility and growth, it would be best that I think, get out there, just log off. I mean, look what Roosh did. I'm really proud of Roosh.
Yeah, Roos did it right, and that might be also because he kind of thought, he might want to go into monastic life. I don't know if he has, but that was kind of the rumor going around. That might have been what spurred him to just leave the internet. But yeah, I mean, here's two versions of conversion that, Roosh was making a living on the internet, so he was in many ways kind of giving up his yeah,
Yeah.
right. By deciding to become Orthodox and choosing to stop yapping on the internet for a while. Kat Von D is another example who she doesn't. Well, she's not really a teacher, but she continues to do her music and talks about or shows visual imagery of Orthodoxy, but she's not trying to like teach everybody. She's not obnoxiously like on Twitter sounding off against everybody and all the all the people out there as if she knows better when she's only been in this for what a year or whatever. So
Do you know who's another good example? He's a friend of mine. I'm going to see him this weekend. But Scott Cloud, was the pastor.
the mega church pastor.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
think
cool.
about what he had, and I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to interview. I think he has. What do they call that? It's an agreement with the church when he stepped down that he would remain quiet about it for a period of time. What is that called? It's illegal.
I don't know. An NDA?
Yes. Anyways.
A mega church NDA? What the heck?
Here's a man who had celebrity status. He really did. Huge income. And laid it all aside to become Orthodox. Probably like cast out, a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And he hasn't gone on and been like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just roll this into a podcast, or like I'll build. He knew the right way. He was like humbled himself, stepped down out of the limelight, and that's another. Somebody had a huge following, big celebrity status, and so I'm really proud of him too. Yeah, I mean, just right ways and wrong ways to do things. I don't know what to say when converting.
Well, the other thing too is to be kind of close to your confessor or spiritual father when you're doing this, because he's going to be the one that guides you. And it's something that you've talked about, that you've noticed a lot, is that the people whose inquiring and catechumen phases go bad, usually they stop doing that and they go off on their own, right?
Yeah, they're making all their own decisions. Especially, I mean, look, we're not saying you can't have like a online, and do stuff like that, but you shouldn't be doing it you should be getting guidance from your spiritual father and priest. Be like, what do I do? How do I move forward to this if I have a public persona or something like that? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're your own person. I mean, First of all, I already do that, with my own social media and Patricia Faith. I don't make my own decisions. I have a whole board and priests where I'm like, is this a good idea? Is this going to be good optics? What should I do? That's just orthodoxy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need to call your priest and be like, should I go to Home Depot today? Or what about this? What about this? Or what, like, you know what I mean? You can get autistic about, but what I'm generally saying, like, you should have the insight to know, but like, this is an issue. Perhaps it's a career decision that's going to affect your life. Perhaps it's stuff that your online, you should be talking to your priest about it. You shouldn't be making your own decisions on, and like you said, I don't think these people are doing that. And is it a shocker that they run off the rails and start saying stuff and doing stuff that's not very orthodox?
Right. Alphanism, what's up, man? I'm you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Father.